We're going to bring up a local guy, Tom Hilton, from Astoria, Oregon, and I'll let him speak for himself. So come on up, Tom. Glad to have you.
How's everybody doing? Hello? How's everybody doing? All right. All that's left is legends, names etched in a granite wall. Black and white photos, folklores for sale in the Maritime Museum store. Boats of wood, hands of steel, hearts of gold. All races, colors, and creeds, a man was valued by his word, his firm handshake, his deeds. White apron supermodels grinning from ear to ear. Days were measured by seasons, not years. Tattered edges, faded yellow-brown, ripped, torn, memories of the glory days when gill netting was born. Dilapidated docks, rotten pilings, broken tops. Beneath our tidal view, skeleton bones, partially submerged, floating homes. Lonely net racks, empty bluestone tanks, broken windows, moldy, musty, dusty, dank. Wooden corks, lead lines, linonettes stripped clean of all their glory. No more mug up, coffee time, just empty chairs waiting for stories. Court is no longer in session. Yesterday's mist, see-through, freighted, transparent, not bitter, jaded. Today's monofilament, tangle nets, Jesus box, deadliest catch drama, overstated, overrated prima donnas. If those pilings could talk, what tales would they weave? Would they be fortuitous of sport fishermen's greed? Countless stories. Work is our joy, fortunes made, love, families, togetherness, life, salmon, laughter, heartbreak, lost. Of butterflies and bow pickers, double-enders and power scows, cash buyers and tenders, 2 bits a pound. Clifton, Brookfield, Altoona, Alderbrook, Uppertown, Uniontown, Celilo. Where do they all go? Salmon culture. A menagerie of people, a colorful past, romanticized, plagiarized, and eulogized by people like me. Fishing is more than tradition, Governor. It's a religious ceremony. Ebbing tide, currents shift, surge of change, pulling our nets, taking us under. Black and white photos, names etched in a granite wall. Let's not forget them, the true legends of fall. This mighty river, what it was back then, full of salmon, sturgeon, seiners, trollers, gill netters, cannery women, stomper, Astoria's fighting fishermen. The story is over. All the legends have died. Our eyes welled with wet. Politicians lied. Last of my tears shed, cried. So if those pilings could talk, ask one how it was back then. It will probably tell you those days are gone forever, kid, with the stroke of a pen. That was Uniontown Supreme Court. This is Shedicut. Sweeping mounds of colorful twine with a worn-out bristle broom with a smooth wooden handle. Remnants, hangings, stripped-off braided lines, salvaged diamonds of multi-strands and mounds of nylon web. Tradio plays behind quiet conversations of the season's end. Worn-out bristles, frayed, snagged, tangled, clinging to threads. Memory swept into a pile of dust and black tape. Nets bagged in burlap, stacked on pallets, mountains of spray-painted names piled on top of lockers behind chicken-wired doors. Turn off the lights, the party's over. Southbound freight. In the yard, mud puddles and garden hoses and empty drums. Boats winterized sit on barrels, wooden blocks. Tied together by intention, lines without knots. Windows covered with broken down cardboard box begin their hibernation, basking in the remnants of their glory, season's twilight, fading stories, swept away by a worn-out bristle broom with a smooth wooden handle, a pile of dust and black tape. That's poetry, right? I've been coming to this place for a long time, 10 years, let's say, and I got to tell you what, this is the quietest I have ever heard this place when I'm up here. I guess my reputation precedes me. What the hell? How's everybody doing? Everybody having a good time? I don't know if you've ever seen me, but I just do the same stuff over and again. I'm like seeing the Rolling Stones, but there's some people there that haven't seen me before, so. Because it's one drift and we all go home. Man, now that you got your ticket, the weather will be great, the reds will be thick, just enough to keep the boat off the gear, hanging like grapes. The girls will be friendly, food will be delicious, jokes will be told, and legends made, and chasing dogs is foolish. The cast is gathered, new faces and old greenhorns and legends, looking for the big score, from Nanilchik, Homer, and Halibut Cove, to the west side setnetters, and the girls on Fisherman's Road. They'll be counting down the minutes, throw the buoy ball, looking for bunches hitting, and telling stories in the mess hall. Because it's summertime in Alaska, along the peninsula, the reds are running and jumping and finning their way home. They're running up, up, up the inlet. That's how they run in the land of milk and honey and the midnight sun. Maggots line the cold hole bank, bukers with our bolts. The dippers are up to their neck in our wakes. An eagle flies alone. South wind blows, pizza at Paradiso's, sun never sets, baseball at Oilers Park, drive down the North Beach, the boys belly up to Keen-Eyed Joe's bar. The smell of blood and sweat and gurry, the gulls shuffle along the tin roof of the bunkhouse, hurry, squawking, talking, sharing a meal, no time to lick your wounds or let the bruises heal, not so young anymore, no youthful zeal. Ice in the cooler, boats clean, windows wash, crank up the tunes, kneel more. It's your turn for Wheel Watch. No time for sleep, looking for jumpers, radio crackles, the sound of squelch, last sip of coffee, Mountain Dew belch. South 210, that's the heading, south into the island, that's what we're betting. The reds are laying along the edge of the bar, last of the flood, high water down, load the boat, head to town, 'cause it's one drift and we all go home. East on the flood, west on the ebb, that's the rules to follow. Look for the jumpers, follow the seams, up, up, up the inlet, sucking net in your dreams. 'Cause it's summertime in Alaska. Along the peninsula, the reds are running and jumping and finning their way home. They're running up, up, up the inlet. That's how they run in the land of milk and honey and the midnight sun. One more? Oh, I'm not supposed to ask that. Thank you very much. So I'm a Uniontown kid. I'm the son of a socialist Finn, and my mom was a French-Canadian Indian. Her family brought the Catholic missionaries across the Canadian route down in Cowlitz Prairie, Washington. I'm class of '82, Astoria High. That's my best friend, right? So I'm up here wearing a Marblehead sweatshirt, right? People, oh, hey, Marblehead, you know, Gecko, Gloucester, fight on. Anybody want to hear anything? Nothing? Call this one Lollipop. You've come to listen to poetry from a dying breed story, like a bushel of oysters with no pearls, hoping to catch the feel of glory and the feel of their life. They don't fish that river no more. They come to watch the sea lions bark. Some cutesy little rhyme about his wife and how she's banging the neighbors. Write something that tugs at their heartstrings. That's the appeal. These lily-livered flatlanders with the funny hats, we call them scissor bills. And remember that one time, yeah, that's pretty funny. Our nets won't be run over, our coke lines won't be cut by a wayward sport boat running in the dark, unaware of maritime law, drunk off his butt. It's a huge generalization, this next few lines. While you sit there in your easy chair, sipping tea and stealing lines, our boats rot on some backwoods road covered in blackberry vines. We've all left the old men sitting on the porch. Their urns aren't quite full. They're guarding what's left of our history. You see those wooden boats in the museum and in front of the hotel, painted in all their glory? That's so we can remember how romantic their lives were, and I can tell you stories. Salmon and potatoes and salmon, reezy peasy, pasta vazul, lutefisk, and lefse. Thank you very much. Have a great night.
You're just the person I've been waiting for. Hi. Are you two together?
Oh, yeah, she's fine.
Yes, she's presenting and I'm the chauffeur.
Oh my goodness, a presenter?
Oh, yes.
Could I get your name?
Loretta Brokoff.
And are you a poet?
I do write poetry and stories, but, yeah, I've written quite a few. Well, actually, I've written quite a few poems, but I had never written about fishing until John Branshaw's mother asked me, why don't you write a poem about fishing? I said, I'm not a fisherman. I don't know anything about fishing. She said, but you're a fisherman's wife. I said, yeah. So I wrote some poems about being a fisherman's wife and had them published. And so then John convinced me I should come and present at this thing. So here I am.
Wow, that's wonderful. And what's your name?
My name's Claire.
And what's your story, Claire?
Well, Loretta and I are really good friends, and we belong to the Grange together, and we don't live that far apart. And her book is available in here for those who would like to purchase that.
Good to know. And what's the title of your book? Is that it right there?
No,
What's it called?
What's it called?
Surfing My Memories.
My memories. How's that?
Okay.
Yeah.
That's an appropriate title. And you said that your husband was a fisherman?
Yes.
Well, that's very sweet. Thank you for your time.